And that example is again a linear time invariant system with the real impulse response h of n. And that is, we have a system which is having a real impulse response h of n. And now we are giving an input x of n which is not complex exponential but rather a trigonometric function. And that is a cos omega naught n plus phi. Phi is simply the phase shift. And we are interested in the output y of n. We can break this trigonometric function, that is the cos function, by means of Euler's identity, and that is we can have a by 2 and e to the power this argument, that is e j omega naught n plus phi plus e to the power minus j omega naught n minus phi. Now observe that we have again got back our two complex exponentials which are the eigenfunctions, and that is at the output they would not change. So hence at the output y of n we would have all of this again reappearing over here, that is a by 2 e to the power j omega naught n plus phi. So this is the eigenfunction, this is the constant coefficient which is being multiplied, plus this is the frequency response or the eigenvalue that we will achieve as done before previously. Plus, because of superposition theorem, now this again would come at the output, and we would have a plus a by 2 times the eigenfunction, that is a by 2 times the eigenfunction, and then the eigenvalue. Exponential has a negative power, so the eigenvalue or the frequency response has an exponential which has a negative power. Note that this is the output, but we need to simplify it further and we need to achieve a trigonometric form of the output. And for that we can take this out and we can say, since h of n is real, that is the impulse response is real, so hence this h of e to the power minus j omega naught n is simply the summation, that is the Fourier transform definition, a summation n minus infinity to infinity h of n e to the power j omega naught n. Observe that because of this minus, now we have a minus and minus, so it becomes plus over here. So if this was plus, this would have been minus. But since this is real, that is this impulse response is real, so we can take the conjugate of this whole expression, and that is expressed over here. So if we take the conjugate, so this plus would become minus because there is a complex sign here j, so this will become minus, and as h of n is real, so it is unchanged. And this is the standard definition of the frequency response, which is equal to this one, and that is we have h of ej omega naught with this conjugate sign. So in short, what I have done over here is that the first term is having h of e to the power j omega naught n. So the second part, which is having a negative sign, so rather than the negative sign, we simply have the complex of this owing to the real nature of the impulse response h of n. And in short, we would have an output which is h of e to the power j omega naught n, a by 2 e to the power j omega naught n plus phi, eigenfunction, constant coefficient, and the eigenvalue of the first input, plus for the second input we have the eigenfunction, at the output the constant coefficient, and the conjugate version of the frequency response. And hence from here we can simplify it further, that is in the second equality we can break this down into a polar form, and for that we have the magnitude of this h of ej omega naught n times exponential to the phase of this, which I have represented by the angle theta. So we have this breaking down into the magnitude of this times exponential to the power j and phase of this, which is this, and then the remaining parts reappear over here. And similarly for the second part, we have, because of complex exponential, the magnitude would remain the same, so this would not change, but the phase would be negative, so we would have e to the power minus j theta. So because of this conjugation, the magnitude is unchanged but the phase have a negative polarity, and the remaining part is a by 2 e to the power minus j omega naught n minus phi. So using these constant coefficients and the exponential terms, we can achieve a cos function from the Euler's identity, that is we would have a cos of omega naught n plus phi plus theta, as cos of an angle is 1 by 2 e to the power j angle plus e to the power minus j angle. So that from that Euler's identity we achieved this cosine function, and the magnitude is common, which is reappearing over here. Now note that this is the output of a system for which we gave cos omega naught n plus phi as an input. So at the output, this is not retaining itself, that is, this is not the eigenfunction which retains itself. So we have an additional plus theta in the argument of cos function alongside these multipliers.